Today, we're going to be looking at ways to switch the API on ClaudeBot. So one thing I actually want to test out is using ClaudeBot directly with Gemini CLI instead, sorry, ChatGPT CLI, so OpenAI, right? So you can see here, they're actually Claude themselves, Anthropic, apparently are suspending accounts using the agent via OAuth tokens instead of the official API. So one thing I want to test here is switching over to the Codex CLI installed. So we're going to work on how to do that today. I think I have to upgrade ChatGPT to the Pro plan first, and then from there we can start setting this up. So I'm just going to go inside ClaudeBot and say, okay, how to set this up. Do I need ChatGPT Pro plan? Then use OpenAI CLI. And I'm also just going to have a quick Google here to figure out how to do it. If you have any questions as we go along, feel free to ask. So we have some options here. I'm just going to plug this into ClaudeBot. Let's have a look. So research this, then give me the instructions, and we'll get this set up. Thurgavara says, hello boss, good to see you. And if you weren't already aware, ClaudeBot actually rebranded to MoltBot yesterday. So it's the same thing, but it's just renamed recently. DJ says, is this an addition or a whole new bot? So basically what we want to do is swap out the old API that we have in and switch to the new one, which I'm going to do now. All right. So you can see here, it's giving us some instructions. Let's have a look at this. So if you have a ChatGPT Plus or Pro account, Codex is included. Step 1, install Codex CLI. So I think we do need to upgrade. Let me just have a look here. Yeah, so on the Go plan right now, we should be able to switch this to Pro, and then we can use Codex directly. So let's switch to Pro. Yeah, it looks like you can use it on Plus as well. Why is it not letting me upgrade? What is it doing? Interesting. All right. I'm going to try this on my phone instead. One sec. Well, I can't upgrade there. That's no good. All right, let's try logging out, and we'll log in on a different account. It's good for you to see this because you can see like it's not that smooth in reality. Unlike some YouTubers who might, make this look really easy. So we're going to upgrade via this account instead. Let's see if that works. Ugh. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we've done that with ChatGPT. Now we should be able to go inside MoltBot and set up the next step. So it says if you have ChatGPT Plus or Pro installed, Codex included. So the first thing you want to do is just install Codex. Let's try that out. We'll set up a new window here. Then it's going to download Codex like you can see. Should be able to run this with the Codex command. And if we just sign in, let's see if we can get this working. ML says, hey guys, anyone know a tutorial for migrating from ClawBot to MoltBot? So it's literally the same thing. Like you don't need to migrate or anything like that. It's already included. All right. So we've done step number 1, which is signing in with ChatGPT. And then step number 2, I think we just need to sign in like this. So we've got Codex running there. Let's open up a new window. I think just ask ClawBot how to migrate. That's what we just did. And then I think we need to do the onboarding again with the terminal command. There we go. So we'll just install the latest version. Carlos says the app is amazing. I'm trying it out too. It is pretty good when it works. All right, it says good news. Codex is already logged in. If I buy Claude's membership for 1 month, is that enough? How do you have it? Yeah, so you don't want to be using Claude for this because they just changed recently and said that you can't use Claude directly with. If you're using the OAuth from Claude, you can't use that with Anthropic. A lot of people are saying as well, don't run it on a VPS. I don't run it on a VPS already, but yeah. So you can see an example right here. Otherwise, what I'll do, if this doesn't work, I'll probably use, yeah, OpenAI's API instead. Let's see if this works. This could completely break it. I've had that happen before, so we'll see what happens next. I may have to just uninstall and reinstall it. You see, we've said yes, do it, and then it's just not replying now. Yeah, there you go. Look, failed completely. All right. Let's try this. Ian says, just go to the terminal and type in MoltBot onboard, which you can see I've done right here, but it's not working. All right, let's go ahead with this again. Is there any way to watch your videos in Spanish? Yeah, if you wait 24 hours after it's uploaded, YouTube will auto dub this directly. So let's go to the GitHub here. You should install Claude Code inside your machine. It's easier to debug that way. Yeah, that might be. I might do that in a sec if this doesn't work. I think it's building it out now. We just have to reinstall everything. Pull in the GitHub again, update it, and then I think it's beginning to work, but let's see. Supporter says, stick around. The easy answer to the reason to upgrade to the AI Prof Boardroom is more knowledgeable community, better support, and more in depth to make it simpler to implement. So thanks so much. All right, so we've got this working now. Look at that. Once I've done this, I'll actually create a guide inside the AI Prof Boardroom on exactly how to set this up. So we will switch this. We are going to log in to OAuth on Codex and Open API. There we go. By the way, I don't think using MoltBot with ChatGPT probably still good, but not great. Let's see how it performs in a sec. All right, I think that's installing and it should be working in a second, hopefully. Any news on good models to run local? Yeah, so if you saw yesterday, I actually published a video on how to use ClaudeBot or MoltBot with Olama. So if you want to set that up, I've got a full tutorial and I do it live right there yesterday. So feel free to check that out. All right, so we should be able to work this in TUI. Let's have a look here. We said, wake up, my friend. Is it going to work? We'll put it in the chat as well. Boom, we're back. We are back, and that is how to switch over to Codex. Beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will take this. I'm going to go back into Claude as well, right? And see what Chai says, is MoltBot another ClaudeBot? Yeah, so MoltBot has, just to be very clear for everyone, MoltBot has rebranded, ClaudeBot has rebranded to MoltBot. So ClaudeBot is now MoltBot. And also Anthropic have said you can't use the OAuth for logging into MoltBot. So you want to use something else instead. A lot of people have recommended the CLI from Codex. So that's what I've installed and started running today. And what I'm going to do here is say create a step-by-step guide for switching over, right? And you can see this is switched, and I'm going to say, okay, delete the Claude OAuth. One thing that I'm going to do as well is delete/remove access to me at juliangoldie.com. So those are two things that I'm just changing because I've seen some people talk about like issues with emails. You know, if you receive an email from someone, that can kind of manipulate ClaudeBot to do certain stuff. So you just want to be careful with this stuff. This is what I'm doing today. All right. So you can see here, we've set this all up now, and we've got a full step-by-step guide here on exactly how to set this up, how to reinstall it, how to go from that to this. I'm going to take this like so. So just to recap, here's what we did. Before we were using MoltBot with Claude. Now we've switched over to Codex. We have deleted Claude OAuth. And I've also removed my Google account access as well, just to be safe. I think it's always good to do that. We can always run a MoltBot doctor check here as well inside the terminal, just to double check. So if we go inside terminal here, open up a new window, and you can run the doctor using this terminal command. But basically that's how to do it, right? So just to recap on the steps, I upgraded to ChatGPT Pro, reinstalled GitHub MoltBot, asked MoltBot to delete Claude OAuth, and then asked to switch over to the OAuth with ChatGPT Codex. Why have we done that? Because Anthropic have stopped allowing OAuth usage to MoltBot, and also this way we can still use MoltBot without worrying about tokens so much. And also you can switch it to Codex and it's pretty simple and easy, right? Like you can see today, you can do it in a few minutes. So that's basically the whole process set up. If you want to get the step-by-step guide, I've put that inside the AI Profit Boardroom for you here. So you could just join and then follow the guide step-by-step on how to do this based on what worked for me. And that's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you haven't already checked this out, this is my AI automation community, and you can learn basically how to scale and save time with AI automation. We have a supportive community with 2,200 members, and we can basically help and support you with any questions you have. We also have a bunch of wins that people can see here. So for example, Raquel built her first email assistant. Steve Light is absolutely crushing it. We've got, for example, Gregory crushing it with this AI agent that he built, right? And then also, if you go inside the calendar here, you can jump on live coaching calls and if you need like help and support on a real-time call. And additionally, you can see that inside the SAP updates, we have loads of training on ClaudeBot and MoltBot. So if you want to know how to use this stuff, you can get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and we've got full guides on exactly how to set this up. We've even got a 3-hour course on exactly how to use MoltBot. So Sam says, just to confirm, using Claude CLI with the subscription plan. I've seen it happen on X a couple of times, right? So you can see here, for example, Philip put oh no MoltBot, and then you can see here they've been, they had some issues with Claude as well. So just being careful, really. I think that's probably one of the best ways to do it. To switch over, unless OpenAI say you can't use it as well, and then we'll have to change again. But I want to just show people how you can switch easily, how quick it is, and also how you can do this, right? And then if we go back to ClaudeBot here, we asked it to switch and remove the old Anthropic profile, as you can see, right, which is taken out. So if we say, okay, are you working now? Just double check this is working okay. So we put inside the chat, you working? And it says, yes, I'm online working now. Removed Gmail account access and remove Claude OAuth access, and the gateway restarted cleanly. So it's working. It's actually seems to be like faster to respond than before as well, which is awesome. And that was pretty simple and easy. So one of the next things that I want to do is I want to go inside ClaudeBot here. I'm going to say, can you build a voice/body for your MoltBot as an app that I can use? If so, what do you need from me? E.g. OpenAI API key to interact with your voice in real time. Let's see if you can actually create something like that. So basically I saw this awesome tweet by Alex Finn. If you haven't checked him out already, he's doing a lot of stuff on MoltBot. So shout out to him. He's absolutely crushing it. And you can see here, they actually he got MoltBot to code its own body, like you can see right here. So it created its own Clawbot, and it can actually speak as well. So I want to test this out and see if we can do it as well. It said, yes, we can do it. And what I'm actually going to do is just take a little screenshot like this, go back to Clawbot and say, can you do something like this for me? See if it can do that. So Fik says, thanks, Julian. Always happy to help. ISAM says, what cheap model subscription do you recommend as an alternative to Claude? I use Claude Max for work. Yeah, so that's it. You got to be careful with your Claude account. So I would use, well, I mean, you can see what I'm using today. So I'm using OpenAI and ChatGPT Codex, and it seems to be working like really well so far. So that's great. The other thing that you could do is you could use something like GLM or Kimi K2.5. The only issues I see with those is like they're not as good, they're not as reliable as APIs. No matter what the benchmarks say, when I've tested them, they're not quite as powerful as something like Claude, right? Claude is goated. It's by far the best API. That's why it's so expensive. But you could try something like that if you really wanted to. But for me personally, I just want to use OpenAI and the Codex inside it. So voice engine choice. So we could use 11 Labs and my own voice there, or we could use OpenAI real time, which I think would be better because it's going to respond faster, right? We can host it, but I want to host it like privately if we do that, or host it locally. So I'm going to say host it locally for me, plus set up OpenAI API key, right? Then I'm going to go over to OpenAI, log into the playground, so the API platform. And then we're going to make a real-time voice bot for ClaudeBot. So let's try this out. So we need to grab an API key, which I'll do now. Just stop sharing my screen. JP says, this live is a goldmine. How often do you go live here on Facebook? Every day. Go live every day on Facebook, so feel free to check out my profile. Thanks for joining. Carl says, so they don't charge you if you use the ChatGPT CLI. So you get like a certain amount of tokens that you can use ChatGPT CLI with the Codex. And if you want to have a look here, what we're doing, so it's given it, whilst it's building this out, you can see it's building out here, and I've already plugged in my API key in the background. So we said, yes, we can build a web app exactly like this with a cute MoltBot character that listens, shows speaking, and talks back in real time. Here's what I need from you, right? So you've got voice engine choice, OpenAI real time, recommended for live conversations, or 11 Labs. But 11 Labs will have the best voice, but it won't have the best response times, right? So we want real time, really. That's what we're going for. Where to host it, we are going to go with my local. I don't, if I deploy it to Netlify, for example, then anyone could access that. So that would not be good, right? Brand assets, you can always plug in a logo if you want to. And then features you want. So, for example, pick MVP. So push to talk versus always listening. Conversation history on screen. Voice selection, one voice versus multiple, which is pretty crazy. And then wake word, right? So, for example, here you could say, okay, wake up with a certain word, and then it would just wake up, which is pretty insane. And then you can see here, it says fastest MVP I recommend, web app plus OpenAI real-time voice, push to talk, animated MoltBot orb, listening, thinking, speaking states, right? Send me this and I'll start. So I've sent over the API now, and it's just beginning to code this out. Number of things says, how do you get out of sandbox mode? So if you mean like, for example, hosting it locally versus hosting it online, you want to, if you want to connect it to something like a messaging app, just check out my other videos. I've got a full guide inside there, proper boarding, but you'd link it to something like Telegram, right? So what you do is you set up the bot father inside Telegram. We've got a full tutorial video inside the AI Profit Boardroom exactly how to set up. Right here. And you can always DM me if you need help with this. The other thing that I've done is switch it to Codex API. And Carl says, are you using the CLI for coding or just using it as an LLM? So just using it as an LLM. Okay, so now we should have this back. Let's check it out. And if we go back to ClawBot here, we've got this hosted on a local host, right? So you can see here it's running now. And it built the fastest local MVP and set the API key in a local only state, right? So it's running now. Here's a local URL. If we actually go over to the app, we've got it right here. So we can allow this. And then we can choose to start, stop, talk, etc. Right? So if we click on start, hey, are you listening now?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hey,
¿Cómo te va todo hoy?
hey,
Perfecto.
hey, can you hey, can you speak in English?
Siento, ¿en qué otra cosa te puedo ayudar? Quizá.
Hey, can you speak in English, please?
Of course, I can speak in English. What would you like to talk about?
Now, it's not working perfectly, but we have created the voice agent right there, and it works in real time, which is pretty crazy. So what I'm going to do now, because I saw there's an error when we click hold to talk, and also there's no real like icon for the MoltBot voice. So I'm going to go back to ClawBot here, and I'm going to say, okay, add a real MoltBot character. We'll just take a screenshot. kind of like this, but create your own lobster style character. The hold to talk button keeps giving me an error. Plus, make sure I can talk to you, MoltBot, when we're using this. Okay, so now what we should be able to do is improve the app itself so that it has a nicer character inside this section. The hold to talk button should work better. And then additionally, hopefully we can actually control MoltBot whilst we use this so that we can operate MoltBot via the voice agent here, which if we can, that's going to be insane. Also, for some reason, it was speaking in Spanish when we first opened it up, which is really strange. Big Danny says, can you please, in simple terms, describe the difference between anti-gravity and MoltBot? Yeah, so anti-gravity is like an IDE, right? So it's really good for coding. The difference is that if you're using something like MoltBot, well, it can do a lot more, right? It can actually take action in the real world, right? So for example, it can control my Chrome browser. Like you can see here, we've got ClaudeBot browser relay set up. It can publish blogs to WordPress. It can use this app via Telegram, right? Anti-gravity you don't use via Telegram. You can create AI avatar videos. You can create voice notes. We have a full 3-hour course demonstrating this inside the AI Powerful Boardroom, but basically it can just do so much more. And it's like a 24/7 assistant. Whereas if you're using something like anti-gravity, it's really just designed for coding, right? That's what it's designed for. So it's beginning to recode this out now. How will they work together? So basically, we should be able to use a voice agent to control MoltBot directly. So we'd be able to talk to it in real time, have a conversation with it, blah, blah, blah. Have you installed MoltBot browser extension? I have indeed installed the Chrome extension, which was pretty simple and easy. Whilst we're waiting for this to load, if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. It comes with all our best training, step-by-step guides on how to use this. If you want to use it with, for example, Codex CLI, we have a full video and step-by-step guide here on how to switch from Claude to Codex. If you want to see our full 3-hour course on exactly what it can do and how you can set it up, etc., we've got that right here. You can also learn how to use it with the AI browser extension using this. So, for example, AJ, if you're struggling and you want to learn how to use the MoltBot browser extension, just follow the steps inside this section of the AI Profit Boardroom. And we'll also show you how to basically set up and automate anything using ClaudeBot as well. So here we go. We've set this up. It's replace the orb with a cute lobster bot. Fix this, and we'll test if this works. Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Now we're getting somewhere. So you can see here, for example, we've got the bot. Little lobster talking. It's idle mode right now. If we click on start.
Hola, ¿cómo te va?
Hey, can you speak in English? Hey, can you speak in English?
Genial, cuéntame. ¿En qué te puedo ayudar hoy? Claro. ¿Puedo describir la imagen que me muestres o darte?
Hey, can you speak in English, please?
Of course, I can speak in English. What's up?
All right. So what can you do? Can you operate ClaudeBot for me?
Absolutely. I can help operate a robot with a claw if it's set up for remote control. Just let me know what specific tasks.
All right, it's still a little bit buggy on the hold to talk. So I'm going to say the hold to talk button is still quite buggy. Also, it speaks in Spanish by default. And can you make sure that I can operate MoltBot with the voice agent? Funworld says, are you running locally or VPS? Locally. So it's running inside the terminal. And then we connected it to Telegram. Now, some people are asking with ClawBot, like, are there any issues with, security and stuff like that? So, number one, I'm not an expert, so don't do it. Never do anything you're not comfortable with. Number one, that's what I'd say. So, if you're not comfortable with something, like, just don't do it. And number two, the issues that I've seen mostly have been with VPS. The other issue that I've seen is like some people will email from an external email address to MoltBot and tell it to do something. And so that's why I actually removed my email connection. But yeah, I mean, like this is just an open source random GitHub on the internet. Like if you have any doubts, just don't use it. Like, and you can just watch my videos to see how I use it and then learn from that instead. There are also some like MCPs you can set up for like security and stuff like that. Okay, so it should be more stable now. Make sure I can operate MoltBot. We would need to set it up so that it can operate this directly, but it might make it a little bit slower. I'm going to go with option B, which is keep super fast real-time chat and only call MoltBot tools when you say run tool. Okay, nice. So let's try that. Now, if we reset this page, hey, are you listening right now?
Sí, te estoy escuchando. ¿En qué te puedo ayudar?
Can you speak in English, please?
Of course. I can switch to English. What would you like to talk about?
What happened in the AI world today?
I don't have real-time updates for today specifically, but I can give you an idea.
So we need to connect it to MoltBot because otherwise it's not going to be that useful. It's just going to be like a generic voice agent. So that's what we're doing inside MoltBot here. We are asking it to keep it super fast, real-time chat, and call MoltBot tools as well. And then also you probably want to code it out so that it has internet access as well. So it can do web search and that sort of thing. But you could always say like run tool. And the other annoying thing is that it seems to start the conversation in Spanish for some reason, something like that. Is GLM 4.7 enough to run? So you can run it, but it's just not going to be as good, right? So Claude is like by far the best for MoltBot. Then you've got ChatGPT CLI, which seems actually on par so far. I'm not seeing any issues. The only difference with ChatGPT CLI is like you get less personality, if that makes sense. And then you have, then you finally have what is it? Stuff like GLM, Minimax. You've got, for example, ChatGPT Codex CLI with OAuth, which is what I'm using. You've got Kimi K2.5 as well that you could use. I think honestly the best out of all of these so far is, I would say the best out of these so far is ChatGPT Codex. Like if you want something that's not going to cost a lot, but also works really well, yeah, it seems to be Codex. I mean, so far it's coded really well. Like it's done a great job on the coding side of things. JP says you saved this live. I want to rewatch it. Yeah, so you can watch it on YouTube or you can join the AI Profit boardroom. Feel free to DM me and I'll send you the link. Is MoltBot replacing NA10? Just learning NA10. Should I learn MoltBot instead? That's an interesting question. Actually, it was something I wanted to talk about today. Was like I've not really used NA10 for quite a while, and the reason for that is like it's quite technical and it often breaks and it takes a lot of work to set up, right? Whereas if you use something like, for example, MoltBot or ClawBot, it seems to work better, right? So far, and it's just easier. So we're going to try this out now. Hey, are you listening right now?
Yes, I'm here and listening to you. What's on your mind?
Run tool, what time is it in Bangkok?
Right now, it's 9:21 a.m. in Bangkok. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to know.
Run tool, what happened? Run
Seems like, sure.
Run tool, what happened in the AI industry today? Run tool, what happened in AI today? Run tool, what happened in AI today? Run tool, reply to me.
Sure. Hoy han pasado cosas bastante interesantes.
All right, it's okay. It's still quite buggy when it comes to running the tools of running it directly with MoltBot. It's something I'm going to work on, but it is impressive that you can build out a nice little tool like this. It looks pretty cool. It's got like a lobster style icon that we can talk to. We should eventually be able to link this to MoltBot directly, but the fact that it's built out a real-time voice agent is impressive in itself. It's just a little bit buggy. I would prefer the start stop option, honestly, instead of hold to talk. So I'm going to say, okay, the link to the run tool option doesn't work so well. Plus, it keeps speaking in Spanish. There should be no Spanish in this conversation. And also, I don't like the hold to talk option. I'd prefer just to start. Option for speaking. So Flavin says, so Codex can open and run things too, like Claude Code. Yeah, it seems really good. Mark says, I got an issue setting up a Telegram with MoltBot, completely stuck on this. Just, I would like any errors that you have, right? Pull up the terminal conversation, paste it into Claude, paste up the Telegram conversation as well, paste it into Claude and just say, okay, how do I fix this? And screenshot any errors and just keep going with that and iterating it. And eventually you'll get there. It might take like 10, 15, 20 minutes to set up, but you should eventually get there. JW Kim says, is it using Claude API? No, it's using OpenAI Codex with OAuth login. I don't think you want to be using, I don't think you should use MoltBot with Claude anymore. And I would avoid that. Bro, can you build a Jarvis using ClawBot? We basically already did. You know, ClawBot can do so many cool things. It's coding out for us right now locally. He can do so much. It's crazy. You can create voice notes in my voice. You can generate avatar videos. You can connect to the internet. It can post to X for us. It can control my browser. It's got a Chrome extension. It runs on Telegram, so it runs across all my devices. And yeah, I mean, it can basically do anything. I mean, it even publishes directly to WordPress. Check this out. So we actually created this article about 36 hours ago for Best SEO Speakers 2026. And then you can see here that inside the AI overview, I'm ranking number 2 for that particular keyword, and ClawBot wrote the whole thing, right? ClawBot wrote it all and recommended me as the best. So it can do anything at this point. You just got to change it. So here we go. We've got this now. It should be ready to go. We're gonna do a refresh on this page. There we go. Hey, you working?
Yes, I'm here and ready to help. What's up?
All right, so run tool, what happened in AI today?
Today in AI, there's been a lot of buzz around new advancements in large language models, with some companies releasing updated versions that focus on better reasoning and more efficiency. There's also been new
So you can see here that's beginning to work much better now. That's much cleaner, much easier to use. And then also we can always say to, we could stop running that and then start running it any time that we want to. What would be interesting as well is like if we can say run tool and then it creates like a YouTube thumbnail inside Telegram. I don't know if it's fully connected to ClawBot, but I'm interested to try that. So let's click on connect here. Run tool, create a thumbnail inside Telegram, inside ClawBot, MoltBot. So you see here it says spawn MoltBot. Anyway, let's try again. Run tool, say hello inside MoltBot.
Hola, ¿en qué te puedo ayudar hoy desde el móvil?
So now,
Hello, how can I assist you on mobile today?
yeah, I would agree. It's just calling the OpenAI API, not Telegram MoltBot. Yeah, I would agree. I think that needs a bit of work, but I think like give it an hour back and forth, you'd eventually get there and get something sorted out. What I'm actually going to do is paste these errors into MoltBot here and say this doesn't seem to be working with MoltBot directly. E.g., if I say run tool, create a thumbnail in MoltBot, it doesn't seem to work. Luke says, please bring a tutorial. So I got loads of tutorials on YouTube about it. Otherwise, you can check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. Go to the classroom, go to SAP updates, and you'll see all these different tutorials on MoltBot and ClawBot and how to use it, etc. So feel free to check that out. Paul says, join the AI Profit boardroom yesterday, having some issues with MoltBot. Just post a screenshot inside the community. So if you go inside the community here, go inside the community and post the issue that you're facing and a screenshot, and then we'll help you out. Yeah, I would say it's much easier to use and using NA10 and that sort of thing. So yeah, I would go with that. Let's see if we got this working. I'm going to give it one more go. Run tool, what happened in AI automation today? Yeah, so you can see it's still struggling with that. Definitely needs a bit of work, but it's pretty insane what you can build there. We're loving it so far. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. Can you use Perplexity API? I haven't seen anyone use Perplexity API. Does your Telegram connection keep crashing? No, I've had no issues with it. As you've seen today, it responds pretty quickly. I'm going to try this again. Run tool, create a YouTube thumbnail for me. Yeah, so you can see here, it's still struggling. Hello, may I ask, M5 MacBook, could I run GLM Flash for ClawBot? I'm not sure on the technicals there, but you can run it locally as well. Test. Yeah, I think you can hear me there. Can you run this on a Windows 2022 server? I'm not, like I say, I'm not that technical on Windows. Number one, I don't even use Windows. Some people are running it on AWS. OpenAI voice can't connect to your local tools the way ClawBot can. That might explain it. I think the issue was my M1 MacBook Pro can't handle anti-gravity and MoltBot. Didn't realize how intensive these programs were. Fabricio, good evening. I'm a fan of your content and watch you with Brazilian Portuguese audio. Thank you for creating. Awesome. Thanks. Tony says, thanks for ignoring. I answered your comment, man. Just not instantly. It keeps asking for permissions when running MoltBot 2 on the computer screen, but doesn't ask me anything in Telegram. Yeah, sometimes I get that. So it will come up with like a pop-up on the desktop, but it won't ask me inside Telegram. I think that's because it's running locally. So like permissions, yeah, maybe some things you can't give inside there. All right, we're going to try one more time. Are you working right now?
Yes, I'm right here and ready to help you out. What do you need?
Can you create a thumbnail inside Telegram, inside MoltBot?
I can guide you on how to do that. To set a custom thumbnail or cover.
Run tool, create a thumbnail in MoltBot. Run tool, create a thumbnail in MoltBot. I think it says mobile. Yeah, it's just not connecting, is it? It's not connecting. But that was fun. All right. So if you want to learn more about MoltBot, how to use it, etc., you can learn inside the AI Profit Boardroom. It's available. Link in the comments description, or go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Inside the community, you can ask any questions you have about MoltBot, get help and support from me and the rest of the community. Also, inside the calendar, you can jump on coaching calls whenever you want. And also, we have a bunch of trainings on MoltBot inside the SOP updates right here, including a 3-hour course, plus step-by-step setup instructions guides for everything related to MoltBot, including how to switch it to the CLI for ChatGPT. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Feel free to get it. Link in the comments description. Pro says, which is best, MoltBot or ClaudeBot, bro? They're the same thing. Literally, they just rebranded yesterday. Appreciate you watching. See you inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Cheers. Bye-bye.